Right, back to this beach scene. Right, I'm gonna get a background hill in there to start with. I'm sipping my coffee. I don't know whether to sort of yeah. I think what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Don't know where. Oh, I'll just pop it in and see what happens. I'm just wondering whether to bleed it out at the bottom or not. Oh, that looks alright, doesn't it? It's nice. So I'm just keeping my paint moving. Look, see how I'm trying to keep everything moving so I don't end up with a line that comes right down there like that, and then my horizon line is roughly sort of, can't really see it, it's roughly sort of somewhere around there. I don't know if you noticed all the clips everywhere. It was just cockling like mental, so I just thought, well, sort that out. Let's stick a load of clips on it. I think that's looking alright. I'll blend that a bit just into C. That's going to be C there. Yeah. Oh, that looks alright. I like that. Yeah, that's sound. Right, so that's that done. Now then, beach. I think now I'll put my beach in. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to blend my beach in. So, I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to wet all this round here so it all blends into my sea and gradually fades out into my sea. Because this will turn from this beach colour and it'll turn gradually into sea colour. So if I do that, look, and then get my softener brush, what's just got pure water on it. I call it softener brush because it's just softening my colouring, you see. But all it's got on it is just pure water. No special, just a Aki brush or an Ike brush, whatever. I call it an Ike brush. It's a normal Ike brush. This colour here, just like a yellow ochre, a raw sienna will do it. Or just mix up a cream colour. I've run out of yellow ochre and I've run out of raw sienna. So I've used a bit of yellow and a bit of Bond Umber and a bit of light red and just mix that up. But you can just, it ain't got to be the exact colour as mine, don't worry about that. I could easily mix this a slightly different colour and I won't worry, as long as it looks like a beach colour. That's all you have to, if you're doing any worrying, just worry about that. Does it look like a beach colour? Now, I've sketched in, I've wrote in a little bit here where water's coming into the sea. A bit of stream thing, whatever they call it, where sea's come in and gone back out again, and water's still flowing in. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to soften this beach colour off into that. So I'll pop it in there like that. Let's take that off a second. Like that. And then I'm going to soften that in. Because this water here, I'll sort of curve down a bit where it's good, because that'll be a bit deeper there. So I'll follow contours and curve down a bit. You know what I mean? That, because there's water in there, that's going to be lower. That land's going to be lower, so I curve it down so it is lower. And although I'll be putting blue on top of this, this is what would happen. You'd see a bit of this sand underneath because it's only shallow. A bit like me, shallow. So I'll do that and blend that in. That's looking alright. I think what I'm going to end up doing is putting a thin layer on here and then probably building up with another layer. Dry it, probably dry it and then build up with another layer. See, I can see where I am when I've dried it. Well, it's a good way to do it is play it safe, and then you can always add a bit more. But once you've got carried away and added too much, you're not stuck, but it's harder to get it back if you add too much. Add too little, easy peasy. Takes a bit out. There we are. It's bank holiday. Well, bank holiday Monday. Tomorrow. I've already watched James Bond. That was rubbish. How comes James Bond is the only spy on the planet? Well, I know. Well, I don't know any spies, but James Bond is the only spy that gives his real name. My name's Bond. I think, what are you telling everyone for? He's supposed to be a spy. My name's Drip. What a drip. Told everyone your name, you idiot. Yeah, that's how. Let's have a look, let's have a look, let's have a look. I think might be getting ready for a dry. Equal dry. See what we're looking at. And a little sip of this coffee and all. Took that, I've given that a really good dry. That's probably bone dry now. That's curling a bit, but I'll just leave that off. Right, so to me that's probably going to have another layer on. I think what I might do now though is pop some C in, and then that might, I'll probably end up with like a full underpaint in here, and then another layer to gan on top. Just stick me softening brush in there. Right, so I'm going to soften this up with a bit of water anyway and start popping a bit of C in. Now that, I'll take this water right across because I'm going to blend my C. I want a soft edge on my C. Right, let's try that. Put a few streaks in, I think. Same again, I'm going to play it safe. So I'll put a few streaks in, get my softening brush, do it like that. That's playing it safe. I'm trying to leave some little really light gaps and all, so it looks like distant waves and stuff. So that'll work with some really light white gaps. That looks dead nice. Right, let's come down into here then. Just water on my brush now. Went all the way across like that so it can blend. There, nice. And then I'll add a few drops in with this. Just a little bit like that, playing it safe. Then my dampening brush. Same again, I might leave some little white gaps just to represent a little bit of sparkle. A little bit of sparkle on my water. Then I'm going to blend it this way. And blend it that way. Nice. Oh, very nice. And then I think what I might do. Oh, that's moving about a bit. That's nice. Oh, the paper's cockling a bit. I could do with ironing it or something to get it flat. You can flatten it, don't worry about cockling, because you can flatten it after you've done your picture. I know it looks a bit rubbish while you're painting it, but once your picture's done you can flatten it and it just looks dead nice again. Right, I'm going to give this a dry. So I'll just explain why I've dried that. I've got these little marks in here which mark my paper, and it just looks like there's little distant waves and that. Now if I'd have just kept out, I know I need that darker blue, but if I'd have just kept adding more paint, it would have all just gone into one smooth looking thing. The paint had blended and all that had disappeared and it just looked smooth. So by keep drying I can get these little wavy effects. So that's why I'm drying in between layers. I'm not, sometimes I wouldn't dry, I'd just get a really smooth if I wanted a smooth surface, but I want this to look like little distant waves, so that's why I did the little dry. Right, so you may as well get an hairdryer or one cup of tea or whatever and do it like that. You'll not regret it. That little white bit there, I could leave a little white thing for like a little whatter line or something. Anyway, I'm going to get plenty of white. See how that paint now in there, it's fixed. Because I've dried it, it's fixed it. So that's not going to move now. Actually, some colours do still move a bit. but it's still a lot better to dry it. See that little, even there's a little line in there where it's stained paper at the top of there, and it looks like a little wave. See these looking like little waves? So I'm leaving the little gaps and that. I might soften some bits in a bit if some look a bit strong. So I'm leaving it, and it's looking like little waves. See some of that, because this is far back, some of these bits here looking a tiny bit strong, so I'll just soften them a tiny bit. Look, just a bit of water down here, bit of water, soften some bits, get so far across, and then when I dry it again, because I'm building up in layers, I'm less likely to bodge it, because I can step back, let it dry, fix my paint and have a look, and it gives me thinking time as well. Don't forget, P is for planning and F is for thinking. Don't forget that, it's an important part of painting. P is for planning, F is for thinking. That's what I always say. See how these little marks here, curving down a bit, curving them down, because your land had curved down like that, where there's water. There, like that, look. Not even much paint on this brush. In fact, there's none on it. Oh, that's curved up. I don't want that curving up. I did a stroke there, what curved up? I want my strokes curving down like that. That's it. I'll soften them in a minute so I can be able to alter them. That one's curving up, but I can just soften in. I actually stained my paper. But don't worry. Don't worry. That one looks like it's curving up a bit. What I didn't want. But by the time I've built these layers up, you'll not see that. You don't have to worry about every little stroke. You just do your best to do what you're trying to achieve, and then usually if something goes a little bit out, it just gives it that fast and loose look. Oh, wicked. Right, I'm thinking now, even while I don't even need to dry it for this, I'm thinking now, let's build up now some of that creamy beach colour a bit more. So if I'm just wetting the whole thing now. But again, see, even now I'm wetting it, I'm going with the contours of how that beach would lay. I won't go up and down like that to wet it, because my beach is going across. So, as I always say, follow your contours. You what's been watching me for a bit knows what I'm talking about when I says follow your contours. Right, I'm mixing some more of this cream up. Mine's gone a bit yellow. It's mixed in with, I've got a blob of yellow paint at the side of my cream colour, and the yellow's mixed in. So that's better. There, nice. A bit more yellow back in there. There, that's nice. Right, I hope this hasn't dried while I'm prattling about. Let's get like that. That's plenty. A few streaks in, softening brush. And then soften it in, see what it looks like, and then I can add a bit more. I can always add more. Can't take it, you can take it out, but it's easier to do it like this. Of course it is. There, don't forget I'm blending there. So I'm blending into my water and I'm blending back into my sea. Because as that sea's shallow, you're going to see that cream colour under there anyway. I just popped a bit on this brush. I'm just going to do a bit of that into that sea, look. There. And then back into just my water, and sort of there. Oh, yes. There we are. That's gone and dripped, which makes some quite nice looking patterns in there. So that's one of them. What they call, everyone goes, it's a bit annoying when these artists say, oh, an happy accident. It's just think, yeah, it's a cliche now. Keep saying that, but. And I hate cliches, but it is an happy accident. So it looks quite nice with that drippy bit there. Look at that, that's nice. So some of these bits here, look, see these bits? They need softening. Can you see that? That just some bits look nice, so like that there, it's a bit... needs softening. You imagine that's disappearing. I've got to make this look here like it's disappearing under that water and like it's curving downwards under the water, you see. So that bit there needs to soften off and curve down, so it looks like it's going under that water. There we are. I'll leave some of them little marks in there like that on my beach. You can soften some if you think they're a bit harsh. I like this, how this is just going a bit splodgy here. It looks like it's going to fade out a bit or something. Yeah, you know what I might do? Not much on my brush, just fade in a bit more cream into there. I'll have a glazer blue on top of this in a minute when I've just, but don't forget when you're glazing, you always do a little dry wash. Oh, I'm thinking, what time are we on? 15 minutes. You know what I might do? Let's give that a dry and have a look at it. Let's have a look. Might leave it at this for and do some more tomorrow. That's looking at a good stage to leave that. I could do with flattening it and get some of them crinkles out. That's not looking at a bad stage to leave that. And just put another layer on tomorrow. Building up these layers on cartridge paper, it looks like you're wrecking your paper, but you're not. You can flatten that back out. That's why I've covered it in clips. Anyway, is that in the middle? Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. What I'll do tomorrow, I'll glaze a full mother layer on this bit here, just a glaze across of a full mother layer, blending this in, and by the time I've done that, it'll look proper. And I'm going to put some little pebbles in this beach and that, some bits and bobs. It'll look proper tomorrow. In it.